What are you saying, lads? Welcome back to the We Love You Arsenal YouTube channel. We're here with another transfer video. It's been a few days off. We've both been busy. Max said he'd be joining us, but he is not, unfortunately. I don't know what happened there. Anyway, we are signing a player again, it looks like. According to Fabrizio Romano, and I think it's been done for a few days now, Gabriel Jesus is coming to the Arsenal. And that's big breaking news. Well, it's not breaking news, but I mean, Fabrizio's confirmation is breaking news, but I think we all knew it was basically done anyway. Hasn't been officially announced by the club. I think that will come in the next few days, probably. We don't really know if he's been in London to do his medical and his paperwork and the media stuff, which they need to do all that before he can be officially announced. But we know the deal was done anyway. I expect him to become our third summer signing. Maybe Matt Turner will come first. Who knows? I've heard he's done all his media stuff. So basically, we've got two announcements to make this week. And obviously, we're moving fast for Rafinha, it appears, and Lisandro Martinez. Anyway, Rob, your initial feelings on this signing? For me, it's extremely exciting. This feels like, I don't know why it doesn't, like, people don't quite see it in the same vein, but this feels like sort of more like an Alexis Sanchez caliber signing for me, like similar level to that. But yeah, we'll give your initial thoughts, Robbie.
Yeah, you're right. It sounds like an absolutely sort of massive signing for Arsenal. I think we've spoken about it a lot on podcasts and already on YouTube videos detailing what he'll bring to the side, but I think all we have to look at is him in comparison to Alex Lacazette. It's just that huge upgrade that we need up front. He's superior on every single level, I would say. And he comes in with a wealth of experience in the Premier League as well. The only thing he doesn't really have on his side is the fact that he's never really got that consistent run in the team at City. But, that's why he's coming to Arsenal. He wants to be playing consistently. There are reports that he's going to be our highest paid player. He clearly wants to be the star at his new club, and I think that's really exciting. And like you, I'm over the moon. I think he'll bring so much to Arsenal, and I'm just delighted that we're getting this one over the line. Knowing Arsenal, it will likely be a few weeks until they announce it, even though it's all done according to all the reliable sources. But yeah, it's so exciting, and I've seen that the Arsenal social media pages haven't posted in 2 days, and people are saying might be waiting 3 days till Jesus arrives. But yeah, that would be a nice one. We know that they're enjoying their little social media ploys at the moment. But yeah, fantastic to get it done so early as well, and you'll be able to join up for pre-season probably in a couple of weeks, just because he had the international duty with Brazil. But it's just so nice to be getting business done early,
Yeah, and when I said about Alexis Sanchez, I feel like the perception of Jesus, he's not as highly perceived as I think he is, the caliber. But I think that it sort of does mirror the Sanchez signing away. It's a player who's been at one of the best clubs in Europe, or teams in Europe, in that period before he signed, playing in a team. He wasn't the main man. He was sort of overshadowed at times by bigger characters and players, but he was always still very good when he did play for them. And now he's decided he wants to drop down slightly a level. Obviously, we have aspirations to be at Manchester City's level, but we're not at the moment. To be the main man, and he's sort of entering his prime, which is sort of what Sanchez was as well. So hopefully we can have a similar, if he's anywhere near as good as Sanchez, and maybe he is looking for a move up in 3 or 4 years after playing very well for us. But if he's anywhere near Sanchez's level, then he'll be brilliant. And I don't put it past him. I think he could really explode at Arsenal. He's already been brilliant at City, but I think he could get better as that main number 9 in a team that's really evolving, growing around him. Really exciting young players, be that focal point up top. And, looking at all his data, all the clips, he's just a brilliant player. I think he can go to another level, and I think, the fact he's joined us over supposedly other teams being interested. The likes of Chelsea and Spurs and Real Madrid were linked. I don't know if they ever had serious interest, but we obviously sold him the project, sold him that idea of being the main man and working under Arteta again. And I think it's a really marquee signing. I also think it puts me at ease a little bit with the rest of the window. Like, obviously, I think we need to do other stuff if we really want to push on. But if we weren't to sign anyone after Great Jesus, I think at least we've got the main piece of business we needed to do, which was acquiring a striker. You know, if you look out wide, we've got good players there, maybe just not the depth we need at the moment, but at least we have existing good players there. If you look in central midfield, you know, as you wrote in your piece a few days ago, Granit Xhaka may be fitting a round peg in a square hole. No, it's the wrong. It's the opposite, isn't it? Square peg in a round hole. But at least he's shown he can do it there. He's a player there. We do have options in those positions. We have some internal solutions. Whereas up front, it was literally Eddie Nketiah and nothing else. So, yeah, this was the most important summer signing for me. What do you think about in terms of priorities after this? Like, how would you list them?
As I sort of outlined in that piece, I really think central midfield should be right up there. I would really like to see us go for Yuri Tielemans next, but I also completely understand why we're going after a player of Rafinha's caliber if he is available. But so's Tielemans. Tielemans has a year left on his deal. If we want a proper quality player with Premier League proven experience, he's there on a plate, and as I outlined in the article, he is that player who would sort of suit that role to a T. But it looks like from the club's perspective they're prioritising Rafinha, and perhaps whether we get Tielemans depends on outgoings, potentially Granit Xhaka leaving. They've spoken a lot on the Arsecast about the fact that Granit Xhaka isn't really that guy who is happy to be sort of even competing for his position. He's sort of got that big dog character, and perhaps he wouldn't respond very well to Tielemans turning up. But then again, Bukayo Saka's our best player, and we're signing supposedly that we're the favourites. We feel like we're in a good position according to all the sources. We're signing a player who is going to come in straight away and compete with Bukayo Saka. So Granit Xhaka should also have to sort of feel that pressure as well. Every single player in the squad, that's what we want. Everyone should be feeling pressure. But back to Jesus, the thing that sort of I tend to look for when we're close to signing a player is the reaction of sort of the fans of the club who are letting him go, and the way Man City fans are talking about him at the moment. All of them, I haven't seen them say a bad word about him. They're just saying how lucky we are to get him, and that they hope, as you say, he can explode at Arsenal. And when you're losing a player and you still think that highly of him, I think that can only mean good things. Over the years, we've signed some pretty dreadful players. Willian and David Luiz spring to mind, even though David Luiz turned out all right. But Chelsea fans were like, oh, God, have him, fine. But City fans, whilst they're sort of like, oh, we've got Haaland, great, they're sad to see Jesus leave because they know what a quality player he is. And I think you're right. It's not something I'd thought about at all, but it really does mirror that Sanchez situation really quite eerily accurately.
Yeah, I guess the reason why people wouldn't necessarily see it like that is because, we've seen a lot more of him than we had of Sanchez because he was, domestic. He was in our league. And I guess like Barcelona and Manchester City, they don't look at them in a similar way, but you have to think about it now. Back then, Barcelona, one of the best teams in Europe, probably top 3-4. That's Manchester City now, so it is quite similar. And yeah, your point on City losing, I don't think Pep would have wanted Jesus to go. I think he would have been delighted to have him stay as a really important member of the squad, but I think it was quite inevitable after they signed Haaland that Jesus was going to be the one to make way, and Sterling could also be going. So
yeah, and I think I might add that I saw Clive from the Arsenal Vision tweet this on Twitter, obviously, and he said that even though we've signed Jesus, if we want to sign a different profile of striker who wants to be first choice, I don't know, 2 years next summer, who cares? That's fine. Jesus is that versatile that we can chuck him on the wing, There's been a lot of talk about whether he might even be better on the wing, and who knows, a season playing up top for us, I don't doubt that he'll score goals, but he might realise, everyone at the club might realise, okay, he's a bit better out wide. Okay, we sign a striker next summer, but this is a problem solved for the current time. And I think another thing to consider is the fact that Brazil are pretty stacked in wide areas, and obviously it's the World Cup in November, December, and Jesus, I think, has probably come to the conclusion that the only way he gets in that Brazil squad is if he plays centre forward. So I think that probably factors into his thinking a lot as well. Arteta's guarantee that, you're going to be my number 9, you're going to play through the middle, and hopefully you're going to score a lot of goals. And yeah, fingers crossed he can deliver.
Yeah, and with the Brazil thing, there's really interesting sort of narrative around that. Tim Vickery, I think his name is, Sky South American expert, has said it. Tim Stillman's talked about it on the Arsenal Vision podcast about how he was Brazil's number 9, picked ahead of Firmino for a while, going in, and he was it for the 2018 World Cup, and he didn't score, and that looms large on a Brazilian strikers. They've had very bad Brazilian strikers who've scored goals, and since then, he's sort of shied away from being a number 9 because of the pressure that comes with being Brazil's number 9, and he's played a lot more out wide for City as well, and he's done very well there. But I think now he's at the point in his career, he's entering 25. He wants to be the main man at Arsenal, and as you mentioned there, they're stacked in wide positions. He has a better chance of being a prominent member of that Brazil squad if he's playing down the middle. So yeah, it's a big move for him. I think it makes sense for all parties, and I'm excited. So welcome to Arsenal, Gabriel Jesus. And Rob, do you have any parting words?
I'll just second that. Welcome to Arsenal. Hopefully a good few years together. And yeah, just so happy to see the club acting so swiftly, and I can't wait for the season to get started,
Neither can I. I can't wait to be at the Emirates for the Emirates Cup against Sevilla in about a month's time. Yeah, subscribe to the We Love You Arsenal YouTube channel. Check out the social media stuff below. And we'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.